In this edition of Fifth Gear, Vicky's in a new TVR, Tom sneaks under the wire at a military motor show, and the very cheapest of new cars. In days of old, cheap cars used to be just that. But nowadays, it's amazing what you can buy on the tightest of budgets.
With only £6,500 to spend and wanting to treat yourself to a brand new car after years of second-hand hand-me-downs, what can your money buy? Well, we've shopped around our local dealers and have come up with all of these.
We can afford the 1.4 version of Seat Arosa.
There's the cheapest car in Britain, the Perodua Kalisa.
Kia's Rio joins us from Korea.
And there's Fiat's newly revised Punto.
Ample discounts get you this Hyundai Getz.
And Daewoo's Matiz comes in with cash to spare.
There's the Smart City Coupe in so-called pure spec.
Ford's car just makes it too.
And finally, there's Daihatsu's new Charade. So stay with us to find out which is the best budget car on sale in the UK today.
Now, time for some noise. A new TVR. Excellent. The T350.
These days, we're used to TVRs looking great, but this one is simply sensational. Whether you're stood
Here, 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 or even here.
the view is fantastic.
And look at the detailing. They've really gone to town this time. The interior is a ravishing feast of tactile pleasure. There are no plastic bits from a parts bin here. It's got a full complement of bespoke machined alloy switchgear.
Now, you can search all day long on the TVR options list, but you'll never find ABS or airbags. And the only traction control to speak of surrounds those 19-inch rims.
And as usual for a TVR, it costs about £40,000. So why, apart from those looks, would you buy this instead of a similarly priced Tuscan, Tamora or Cerbera?
Well, you might, I suppose, be taken with the idea that this one has a hatchback. But you're far more likely to be impressed with some of the other additions. You see, basically, this T350 is a Tamora, but it's got a roof, a roll cage, stiffer suspension, and a tweaked version of TVR's 350 brake horsepower Speed 6 engine.
It's more responsive, does 175 and 60 in just over 4 seconds.
My kind of tweaks, boys. Blackpool's latest export is exactly what you'd expect. Basically, it is a shed load of power that propels 2 seats. It has enough grunt to embarrass a supercar, but be warned, because there's no ABS, stopping this beast needs 100% concentration. Or you could just skid into the first thing that doesn't move. This car won't treat you to a limo-like ride. If you want that, buy a limo. This car is all about having FUN.
So I've decided to take it somewhere where I can play really, really dirty.
If you are a true Trevor fan like me, you will love it. Be warned though, the T350 may be for girls, but it's not for wimps.
Welcome back to our quest to find the best budget car on sale in the UK today. We've assembled 9 of the lowest priced cars in Britain to tell you all about.
But what do you get for your money? Which of these cars offers real value for money under closer examination? Well, let's take a look and award some stars for good effort. Now, these value for money stars are very important because we're going to use them to select 4 out of our 9 cars to go through to our next round.
And let's start with the price. Most of these are around £6.5 grand, so the Daihatsu and the Daewoo get 1 star for being under 6.
And the Perodua gets 2 for being the cheapest by far at £5,124 on the road.
A 3-year warranty earns you 2 stars. So that's the Fiat, the Daihatsu, the Ford, the Kia and the Matiz. But the gets 3 for its amazing 5-year warranty.
When it comes to safety, airbags are 2 a penny, so we'll award 2 stars for any car offering ABS as standard to help you avoid crashing in the first place.
So that's the Smart, the Hyundai,
The Kia.
and the Daihatsu.
Surprisingly, there's quite a spread when it comes to insuring these little gems, so we'll give 2 stars to those in Group 2.
That's the Ford, the Daewoo, the Kia and the Smart.
1 star for those in Group 3.
The Fiat and Perodua. And the rest get none.
The Perodua gets a well-earned star for over 50 miles to the gallon fuel economy, as does the Smart and the Daihatsu.
And if you can get from 0 to 60 in under 15 seconds, here's another. And getting there in under 13 seconds gets 2 stars for the Daihatsu and the Seat.
And for all those who've moved into the 21st century and supplied a CD player, we'll give 1 star to the Daihatsu, Daewoo, Hyundai and Smart.
But the baby coupe loses 1 for only having 2 seats.
So where does that leave us? Which 4 go through to our semi-finals?
Well, the car with the most stars is the Daihatsu with 9.
And in second place with 7 stars, it's the Kia and the Hyundai.
And completing our final 4 lineup is the Daewoo Matiz with 6.
Now, Tiff, that's all very well, but when it's your own cash you're spending, of course you want all the gadgets the Far Eastern boys have got. But the badge also has prestige value. That's why I'm going to give it an extra 2 stars, the Ford Ka.
Just like that.
Just like that, run with me. It's a perfect idea.
Can you do that?
I can indeed.
Which dumps the Daewoo and puts the Ford into the final 4.
Two things. 1, the military has the best toys to play with. And 2, they absolutely love to show them off. Think about it. If the stealth bomber's so damn secret, how come everybody's heard of it?
And this place is Show Off Central, where lots of firms are displaying their wares to try and tempt the forces. It's basically a top-secret military motor show, just like going to the NEC, except that instead of stand girls, there are sergeant majors, and instead of collecting brochures to drool over, you, well, collect brochures to drool over. Now, when British firm Roush aren't making the drivetrain for the new Ford GT, they're perfecting the diesel quad bike.
Now, high-level NATO meetings have decided that it's much more efficient to have just one fuel in theatre. Those same NATO meetings have decided that to have lots of really flammable fuel dumps with petrol in isn't really that good on a battlefield. So soon, everyone is going to be running on diesel.
I can't thrash this prototype, but the enemy are bound to be petrified by such threatening trundling. A key option will be high flotation tyres for swamps or indeed minefields. Can I buy one? Yes, for about 5 grand.
Now this is what the British Army tow their Challenger tanks around on, and it's simply enormous. It's also state-of-the-art. See, this trailer has 7 axles, 5 of which steer. This front one here turns in time with the tractor unit, while the back 4 actually spin in the opposite direction, meaning that although it's twice as long as a normal HGV and 127 tonnes fully laden, it can still cope with the twists and turns of a normal road.
The noisy end of the outfit is known as Oshkosh, and with the King trailer, we're talking about a £1 million rig.
Right.
Now this is an 18-litre, 700 horsepower engine, and it's by far the most powerful thing I've ever revved. The automatic gearbox is push button, but the man said I couldn't touch it. The tyres do have a good trick though. See, you can alter the tyre pressures from up here, so if you see a swamp coming up, you can let the tyres down, increase your footprint and glide across.
Now this is the boss man. It's the Elvis ATV-P, codename BVS10. But the Marines, they call it Viking.
It's the first time in their proud 339-year history that the Marines have used armoured vehicles. It's dead clever. Each of the 4 tracks is powered, and the trailer linkage is actually the steering mechanism.
But the best bit is that it's an absolute doddle to drive. Any chump could drive it. So I will.
The official Secrets Act prevents me from telling you too much about how the Viking works, but it'll take hits from landmines with ease, and the Marines have ordered 108, with each one costing around £500,000. They literally go anywhere: bogs, snow, the sea, even down impossible 1-in-1 inclines. Watch this. I definitely want one of these for Christmas. It's called the Super Cat, and what better way to make the enemy surrender than by an impeccable display of handbrake turns. £55,000 for go anywhere fun. But now it's time for my star of the show.
If I had an army, a real army, and not just the imaginary army in my head, well, I'd give all the troops a Pinsgauer.
Originally an Austrian design, it's now made under licence by a British firm. There are lots of versions. A 6x6 will cost around 75 grand, or it's 250 grand for the advanced comms package. There's even one with a chemical agent resistant paint.
Now Sarah here is Pinsgauer's test driver. Sarah, show us your moves.
The Pinsgauer's genius is twofold: amazingly quick and amazingly supple. See it as a Lexus for the army. The ride quality is second to none thanks to special suspension. You can tear across the roughest of ground but be free from vibration. Handy for transporting delicate radar equipment or even carrying out invasive surgery. Ow! Then Sarah decided to show off and demonstrate the quite astounding axle articulation. It was very impressive, but I decided to help out too.
There's a really big hole here. Oh, crikey.
Your dad may moan about the decline of the British motoring industry, but you can tell him that when it comes to defence supply, Britannia still rules the waves. Well, and the fields. See, when it comes to ingenious technological solutions rather than just massive production volumes, we're second to none. And the maddest thing I could find to buy? Well, tonight I'm going home in my Scarab.
Bomb-proof flooring, bulletproof bodywork, and prices ranging from £350,000 to £800,000.
Drive on!
It's way cooler than any Hummer.
Welcome back to our quest to find the ultimate budget car, where we've narrowed down our bargain buys to just 4 cars.
We can get them all from our local dealer for under 6.5 grand, and we reckon they provide the best value for money from our original pick of 9.
But now the question is, what do they like to drive?
Well, I'm going to see how they handle on the open road.
And I'm going to see what they're like on a test track. A little test track for little cars.
We'll be using our driving round to select 2 of our 4 cars to go through to the final. And first up is Ford's Ka. Now, the Ka is quite an old design. It first appeared 7 years ago. But you wouldn't believe it. And I love the thought that's been put into the interior. It still looks groovy after all these years. Now, it's not the most comfortable ride in the world, but you can live with it. And the great thing about the Ka is it handles. It's fun to drive. It's a feel-good car. The way it looks inside, the way it looks outside, the way it drives, it makes you feel good.
this track is as tight as any inner city ghetto, but the little car feels incredibly nimble and turns in much better than you might expect it to. And it whips the other way, the steering makes good. I can nip the handbrake if I want to. And the big, in terms of these cars, 1.3 litre engine has got quite a lot of grunt, so it accelerates well through the gears, takes the bumps, and it's a fun drive. Little woo, nip, woo. Not perhaps how you'd go shopping, but everything you could want in a town car. But until the front wheels lock up, because we keep forgetting that it hasn't got ABS.
The first of our two Korean cars is the new Hyundai Getz, and things are looking good. It's very Euro-friendly. It looks like a European car inside and out. It handles with some poise, it rides comfortably, and that gear change is lovely. And look at the interior. There was once upon a time Hyundais were, well, the whipping boy when it came to interiors. Now, well, they've taken styling cues from our German friends. Things are a lot more plush. It feels as though Hyundai's sort of coming of age now.
Straight away, more understeer than on the Ford, a lot more understeer, wheels spin everywhere, but it nips neatly with the handbrake. So the traction's not so good, the turning's not so good, but that little engine revs away nicely. It seems to ride that bump very well. I'm impressed. It's just got a bit too much understeer. But apart from that, it's every bit as much fun as the Ford. And it's got ABS, so it'll still brake and steer if I arrive at a corner too quickly.
Up next is our other Korean survivor, the Kia Rio. Will it be a festival of fun?
My overriding first impression of this Kia is what a lump of car for the money. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. Now straight away it feels more grown up, more refined, it's quiet, the engine pulls well, it's a 1.3, it's got some guts to it. The ride is noticeably better, it's a much bigger car. This is an incredibly good package.
Now this Kia looks a bigger car, it is a bigger car. And I thought it might struggle around here, but it doesn't get upset, it handles well. Brake pedal feels firm and solid. And the gearbox is nice to use. All in all, that's a bit of a surprise package.
Finally, it's Daihatsu's Charade. Remember, it was the top scorer in our value for money round.
I mean, I have to say, these Daihatsus have come on leaps and bounds. They're not the shameless boxes of tack they were. But even so, when it comes to everyday driving, I don't know, I just don't think I could live with you. Yeah, it might have the kit and it might be economical, but this thing, well, the engine sounds like a bag of nails. And the ride, it's the worst so far. The handling, whoa, how woolly is that? And the gearbox is truly awful. It feels like it's been made up of bits of string and metal. This is actually frightening. Whoa, nearly up on two wheels there. I'm only going 30 miles an hour.
And it's all over the shop. Oh, felt like I was going to roll it then. This has got no traction, no grip. And I'm scared to pull the handbrake on in case I end up on my roof. Oh dear. How the mighty have fallen. All noise and no go. So where does that leave us? Which two cars will go through to the final round? Well, the Daihatsu was a disappointment on the road and the track, so we have no hesitation saying goodbye to the charade. But which of the other three goes out is a harder choice. We love the Ford's road and track handling, but we just can't forgive it for not having ABS.
Which means, and I can't believe I'm saying this, we have an all-Korean final, with the Hyundai and the Kia going through.
There's a car we design in our dreams. You know, the one that does everything. Sporty but practical. Handles delicately but is well built. Handsome but doesn't show off. It makes sense, but it also makes you smile. Well, in 1984, Volkswagen made it. The Golf GTI. Talk about car for the people. It appealed to millionaires and it appealed to mothers. A GTI could be defended because it represented value and applauded because it went like the clappers.
It's a pocket hot rod for going to the shops in. I should know, I've got one. Everything about it is just so pure and simple. Its steering is spot on, the chassis loves being chucked into a corner, and the engine is more than willing to pull you out of it. The Mark II does everything brilliantly, but the thing it does best is remind us just how good the Mark I was.
Now, this really was the original and best, but no one knew quite how revered it would become. It's one of the great icons of the 80s, but its story starts in the disco era, baby.
It's 1973 and knocking off time at the VW factory in Wolfsburg, Germany. Nobody notices a small group of engineers who stay late into the night. They're secretly squirreling away to make a normal Golf a bit lighter and handle sharper. They're also working out how to fit fuel injection.
The idea of a sport Golf somehow breaks cover and the engineers' work is frowned upon by the men in charge. They simply don't believe there's a market for such a niche car.
But the gang of engineers continue their tinkering, and after 2 more years of late nights and lost weekends, they pluck up the courage to show their baby to the bosses. They explain that their car will have a significant performance advantage over the opposition, and this time the suits sit up.
Performance was something you associated with Porsche or BMW, and Volkswagen liked the sound of it. A people's car that was faster than other people's? Make it! Excited tales from those who'd bagged early drives spread fast. A journalist revealed how he'd kept up with a well-driven Ferrari across Welsh B-roads. Never had so much performance been experienced so cheaply with such build quality. In those days, nothing in life was as reliable as a Volkswagen.
Well, it might have been over-engineered, but it wasn't over here. British dealers had to beg for 2 years before VW would try and tackle the difficulties of building a right-hand drive version. In '79, the GTI arrived, and we haven't stopped buying them since.
There are no complex driver aids and no lardy luxuries, so the Mark I drives like a roller skate. It's an addictive little monkey. I've met loads of people who've owned 3 or 4 because they just can't bear to be without one.
Right, we've narrowed down our long list of budget cars from 9 to just 2. The Kia Rio and the Hyundai Getz.
So the question is now, which one would you really want to live with?
Remember, both got 7 stars for value for money.
And when it came to driving them, the Kia was the big surprise. It felt really solid, cornered well, and with its 1.3-litre engine, it wasn't exactly slow. Trouble is, it doesn't look great, and though it's got loads of space, it's practically in a state, it's all a bit grey on the inside too.
The Hyundai is much easier on the eye. It's more 21st century on both the outside and the inside, where you get that CD and electric windows. Although it's smaller, there's still plenty of space for your mates, and with the seats down, it's a convincing load carrier. It doesn't handle quite as well as the Kia, and its 1.1-litre engine lacks grunt, but it's a car you could be proud of on your front drive, and it comes with that 5-year guarantee. So,
the Hyundai Getz is our winner.